Jared.
And this is Eli.
And this is Sports Jabber with the Lefties.
And if you guys enjoy our podcast, please like and subscribe and share this with someone who you think will enjoy our podcast.
Okay.
So today, we're going to be talking about our predictions for the AFC East, our placings, and who do we think will win the division.
This is going to be quite challenging this year. Obviously, normally it's pretty easy. I think we go Patriots number 1, and then everybody else number 2, 3, 4, right?
Everyone tied for last.
Tied for last. So I think it's going to be this is going to be tough to predict. This is going to be
all the
hard.
opt-outs and.
So what do we got? We got the AFC, right? So we got the Patriots.
Yep.
We got the Jets. We got Buffalo.
We got Miami.
All right, why don't you go first? Tell me your rankings, and then we'll give our opinions on why we think what we think.
So I kind of have a 1A, 1B scenario, right?
Well, just pick what you think it's going to
Okay, I'm going to say the first is the Bills, second is the Patriots, third is the Jets, fourth is the Dolphins. But the Patriots, it all depends on Cam Newton. If Cam Newton is good, I think the Patriots will be number 1. If he does not, I think they'll be number 2. It all depends on Cam Newton.
So you think it's going to be either? So you're saying to me, if Cam Newton you think is good, Patriots number 1, Buffalo number 2.
Yes.
Jets number 3.
Yes.
If Cam Newton not well, Buffalo number 1.
And then I could see the Patriots and Jets kind of flip-flopping.
So no matter what you feel, Miami's on the bottom.
I definitely think Miami's on the bottom. Let me give you my reasons for that. Last year, the Miami Dolphins overperformed extremely. I do not expect that again. It was very lucky. They won a few games out of luck. And now, yes, they had a very good improvements. I'm giving them credit for that. I think they're not ready to win yet. I think they will be successful. They're just not there yet. They have a lot of young guys on that team. It's going to take them a few years before they can have success. But I think they have a future. But quarterback situation. They do not have a good quarter. Tua is not going to start, and even if he does, he's a rookie. He'll make mistakes. He's not going to take the team to the playoffs.
I'm not sold on Tua either.
I'm not sold on him either. But assuming that he's a good quarterback, he's not going to be great in his first year. Assuming he starts it.
Yes.
Ryan Fitzpatrick is most likely starting the year.
So he should be.
And
he'll make it about 4 games.
Ryan Fitzpatrick had a good year last year, considering Ryan Fitzpatrick. He had the Fitzmagic.
He has it every time. Why?
He does. He has the Fitzmagic one year. Then the next year, he looks terrible. He throws interception after interception after interception. He's the most inconsistent quarterback ever.
Yes. So
he had his good year. Now when you have decent expectations of him, woo.
Well, let me tell you what I think, and then I have 2 kind of predictions. So the first one is I agree with you is if we're just talking, obviously the Patriots. I think you always have to give the Patriots number 1. I just with Bill Belichick, I know a ton of players opted out, but it's just every year he just is a great coach, and I say this every time. And then Cam Newton is that wild card. I think they would have did worse, but when they got Cam Newton, I feel like people are kind of down on Cam Newton. I don't really know why. He had 1 year he was injured, but he's 31 years old.
Yeah.
He's been a great average to great quarterback. He can really. He can't run like he used to. I don't think he can do,
especially with his injuries.
But he still has a good arm. I just think, and he knows what he's doing.
He's a veteran.
He's a veteran. So I don't think it'll take him long to pick up on the system. And I think that they're going to be in the lead. Now, number 2, I feel, is the Jets. And I feel that the Jets are going to be either number 1 or number 2. Maybe I'm a fan. Listen, I
said this last year. We made a bet, you remember?
Yes, and I was wrong. I feel this is the year that it all depends on Sam Darnold. If he becomes what we think he's going to become, then they're going to be in first place. If he becomes the quarterback that we are predicting that he should become, then I definitely feel they're going to be a first place team. I just believe that because he's really the best quarterback kind of out of that bunch. Right? So you got
out of the AFC East bunch?
Because I'm not a big fan of Allen.
No, I don't. I think Allen is a bad quarterback with a good team around him.
Yes.
And a good coach.
Yes. He's too inconsistent. I think he had a really good year last year, But he's very inconsistent. I don't see him lasting a long time in the NFL. I just don't.
Like this. This is what I think of Josh Allen.
And that's just from
playoff
watching college
against the Texans when he did the lateral in like the third quarter.
Yeah,
he makes stupid mistakes.
Yeah, and I'm not saying Darnold is
better.
Is better than him. Right,
they're
right
about
now,
equal right
They're
now.
about equal right now. So, but if I was putting my money on one quarterback, because right now I don't think both of them are NFL quarterbacks. I think both of them will be backups the way they are from the last 2 years.
Yes.
I think that if one of them steps up,
it will be Darnold.
It will be Darnold. I just don't.
Allen has good legs. He's mobile. He does have a very good arm. He throws. He can launch the ball, but his accuracy and his mistakes.
I think he's going to go downhill.
Fumbles.
I have a feeling he's one of those where he had a good year.
Not even a good. He just had people
like Trubisky, right?
Mitchell Trubisky. That's exactly what Mitchell.
Right,
Trubisky
he had a good year, and everybody thought, okay,
not
now
even that good. He was overhyped that year. He only threw like 22 touchdowns.
Yeah, but he had a
decent to good year.
But he wasn't that good. Then he had a decent to good year, and then he kind of came back to his baseline. Self. I feel like that's going to happen. Yes,
he's going to be like Mitchell.
That's
Trubisky.
what I'm saying. So I think they're going to be third. Miami, forget about Miami's fourth. I mean, they don't really have much of a team, and
they do have. They do have, if one of the best, if not the best, secondary.
Fitzpatrick will definitely blow a couple of games. That's his thing.
He wins you games. He blows games.
And
and assuming Tua starts eventually, he's a rookie quarterback. What are you going to expect?
Yeah,
from
I
him?
mean, he's not. Yeah,
and I'm not sold on Tua, just like you.
Yeah, so I don't think. Obviously, he's a rookie, so even if he does play, I'm low expectations. So I think 4. To me, Buffalo's going to be number 3. To me, and Cam Newton is a wild card, right? If he gets injured, game 2, game 3, forget about it. I put them the Jets. If Cam Newton is playing amazing with Bill Belichick, they're going to be in first place.
But I like to compare the Bills and the Jets. In my opinion, they're very, very similar teams.
No, Bills are better.
I'm not
as far as
the difference is.
Okay.
I just take pauses for dramatic effect.
Well, because I was like, are you kidding me? The player wise, I don't think it's
the difference is the Bills head coaching and all their coaching staff is much better. Versus you have Sean McDermott versus Adam Gase.
What are you saying? Adam Gase is not an amazing coach? Is that what you're trying to say to all those Jets fans out there? Yeah, well,
Sean McDermott, I think is a good coach.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And Adam Gase is arguably the worst coach in the league.
He's average.
He does is he makes the star players leave. He angers them, and then he just sits in mediocrity, so he doesn't get fired.
Okay, but
he's just good enough, so he doesn't get fired. But he's bad enough, he doesn't win you.
He'll win you 7 to 9 games a season.
But he gets rid of your entire team because he angers everyone.
Listen, I don't think he's making it. I think even mid-season he might be gone.
He's that bad.
The problem with the season, it's going to be very interesting. As I said, so many players are opting out, right? And
that's his excuse.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be an interesting thing. So here's a question. So we're going to get a little bit off topic because, besides the AFC East, we're going to get a little bit off topic here. But so what happens if Adam Gase, stinks it up this season? What do you do?
In my opinion, I fire him. But I feel like a lot of people are going to say, give him a chance. I
don't think Jets fans are going to say that.
No.
I think those Jets fan has faith in him. I think it's like...
We hired him as an offensive mind to make our offense better. What happened? Our defense was very good under Greg Williams, and our offense was, I think, like by yards per game.
I think it was like we were like either
31st. We were like 31st.
Yeah.
Like there's all stats, yards,
yes,
points. We were like 31, 29,
yeah,
32.
we're the worst. Yeah.
We're like one of the worst offenses in the league.
Yes, I agree, and so it'll be very interesting to see if he makes it, or if he goes out like 0-6 again or so like that. I mean, we have Greg Williams, and Greg
Williams is a good coach. The only problem with him is he angers people.
Yeah, and so does Adam Gase.
Yeah.
So I mean, clearly, I don't think I think Greg Williams doesn't have that that PC kind of. Some people are just very good at speaking to other people and working up the ranks. I don't think Greg Williams has that in him.
Like he had the hurting players thing. He's not very.
He's not. Yeah, he doesn't have.
He's not a sweet talker.
Yeah, I think. Let me tell you something. I truly believe that if we got rid of Adam Gase and put Greg Williams in, we would have something. And maybe we might get lucky and that might happen. As I said, I mean, if he goes out and loses, 5 or 6 games, I could see them getting rid of him. That's why they have Greg Williams. And as I said, Joe Douglas, he didn't hire Adam Gase. I know he backs him. You got to back your coach, right? Your general manager, you have to back him. But I'm sure in the back rooms, I can't imagine. He's not going to. Does he want to go? Does he want to go down with the ship with Adam Gase? Right. No. I mean, and he didn't hire him, so he can say, listen. He can say, listen, yeah, we thought this was, but let's go a different way. It'll be very interesting. So we'll see the season. So that's why I said, as I said, last year I gave, I backed Adam Gase. I said, well, I didn't like him for the pick. I think that was a silly thing that we did. That had to do with probably the worst general manager in NFL for the Jets history. He was one of the worst.
I thought, no, there was another guy who was even worse. I don't remember his name.
Oh, Idzik?
I think it was
Idzik, yeah. We've had quite a few bad ones.
Tannenbaum.
I think as Jets fans start to listen to our channel, they'll agree. We've had quite a few bad general managers in New York Jets history. McCagnon, he's up there. He's up there definitely, and he just picked him because he wanted to. What I love about the whole situation that happened was he hired him because he wanted a yes man, right? I mean, that's why he hired him, because he wanted to control everything. He wanted to control who the defensive coordinator was. He wanted to control everything.
Or the draft too.
He wanted everything, and so because we had quite a few other better candidates the Jets had. I mean, every single Jets fan was like
angered at
that was like the bottom. We're like, why are the Jets even interviewing this guy? And we had such good candidates that are coming up, great coaches, college coaches, everything like that. And then we take him, and you're like, what? That's just like I don't know if they were drinking in the office. What was going on here? That makes no sense because he wanted a yes man. And then because he probably in the interview said everything that he wanted. He said everything that he wanted, right? Yeah, I'll do whatever you want, blah, blah, blah. And then he turned around and stabbed him in the back, which was hilarious.
And he got fired
right?
for it.
He hired this guy because he wanted a yes man and he didn't want a coach to make his own decisions. And then the guy turned around and stabbed him in the back.
And then because of Adam Gase's connections, we ended up getting Joe Douglas, who we all love. So if we have 3 years of mediocrity, or 2 or 3 years, depending on how long Gase is here, of mediocrity, that's worth it for Joe Douglas.
Yes. Well, as I said, I love that. Well, we're changing everything up and we're getting a lot younger, but. So that's why, I mean, this and so let's go back because I don't want to, we kind of went a little bit off topic.
Let's go back to the AFC East.
Let's go to the AFC East. It's kind of hard to do this podcast in a way because, I mean, half the team in the Patriots opted out. I don't know if they want to.
They had 7 players total opting out.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge.
Because their roster, right now, they have Bill Belichick, but their roster is terrible.
But they have Cam Newton, and that's why I don't know what to do with this. So normally, there's so much that changed in the AFC East right now that it's kind of hard for us to say because number one, you got Bill Belichick, who's the best coach in NFL history. I think we can all agree or argue 1 or 2, 1, 2, 1A, 1B, 1C, whatever. Yeah. Right? We got Cam Newton, who's never played in the Patriots system and plays a little bit different style, and he just come off an injury. Right. So we don't know how he's going to perform, but he is only 31. And for quarterbacks, that's not that bad nowadays because you really can't touch the quarterback. So it's not like the old days, 31. So we have a kind of a youngish, experienced, was an all-star quarterback. He's not, when he's playing on top of his game. I mean, he's a top 10 quarterback.
He changes the game.
Yeah, he can just, so you got him. So I don't know what this means. Does this mean that they're going to be number 1, number 2? They'll definitely not be last place unless Cam Newton gets injured. If Cam Newton gets injured or something happens, okay, then he's out. But then they can go down. But so I don't know where to go with the Patriots because normally every other year would be like, all right, Patriots number 1, and then we would duke out the 3 out. So I still think I just got a feeling. Mike, what I would love as a Jets fan is Jets to be number 1, Patriots to be number 2. I don't want the Patriots to lose too many games because then all of a sudden they get an amazing draft pick and then they draft a quarterback and then we go back. So we want the Patriots to win enough games, right?
Like 7-9, anywhere from 7-9 to 9-7.
Yeah. So as I said, they'll always be a great team until Bill Belichick retires. I think he only got a couple of years left anyway. So that, and then Buffalo, as I said, Allen, I'm just not sold on him. So I guess we'll see. You know what? We'll see this year. Either if Allen's good this year, then I'll say my bad. Allen is better than I thought he was, and all of a sudden he became accurate. Right. So I just don't think that, as I said, I think they have a great coach, Sean McDermott. So I think that I agree with you. And then Miami's kind of like us. They're kind of, except they don't really have, I mean, they're very similar, right? And Miami did a ton of, we're kind of copying the Miami system, right? Remember they traded and they got quite a few first rounders and they kind of went through the draft. So
they traded everyone though. We're trading a few players. We're still keeping a lot of our base players.
But I mean, we're going
Miami
the same
Dolphins,
way. We're going the same way, right? They got.
But they were basically just tanking. Like they were straight up tanking. The Jets are, they're rebuilding. There's a difference.
Well, in a way, they're a little bit better shape in a way, because if you think about it, Sam Darnold is in his
He's still a prospect. He's still a good prospect.
But here's the thing: if Tua ends up being good, let's say in 2-3 years from now, they're actually a very young team. They're putting all their draft picks now. If they pick correctly, and Tua turns out to be a good quarterback, right? All of a sudden, Tua is a top-notch quarterback. He's still under a rookie contract. The Jets right now, the way we're doing it, have to pick a couple of our next 2-3 years. By the time we're kind of all set, now we have to pay Sam Darnold. So we'll see.
That's if he has a good season.
So you know what? After having this conversation, this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say Patriots 1, Jets 2, Buffalo 3, Miami 4.
The Jets aren't there yet. With that, they're not going to win.
I'm just saying this is, you know what? We're having this conversation. That's why we're doing these podcasts, so we can have fun and talk about this stuff. And so, as I said, anybody else who's a Jets fan, you can start clicking on and listen to our podcast. And so this is what I feel. What do you feel?
I don't feel the Jets are there yet. I feel like talent-wise.
So I gave you my 4. That's at the
Okay,
end of the season.
do you want me to go my 4?
Give me your 4.
Number 1, Buffalo, because their team is good. Right? And that's assuming.
Okay. That's okay. Give me your 4. Just give me your 4. Just say.
Okay. Buffalo, New England, New York, and Miami.
So Buffalo 1.
Yes.
Number 2.
New England.
Number 3.
New York.
Number 4.
Miami.
Okay.
That's what I said.
That's fine. Well, you were kind of going back and forth. I don't know. You were.
Yes, because I was putting emphasis on it.
Say 1, 2. I don't know what emphasis means. So I think that's good. Anything else you want to say? I mean, we can keep on talking about this for hours.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a back and forth conversation.
The problem is it's going to be hard too, as I said. We'll see, and then obviously everything can get messed up with the COVID.
So if you enjoy our videos, please like and subscribe, and share this with a friend who you think will enjoy our future podcast. And don't forget to leave in the comment section below topics for our future podcasts.
Absolutely. We're going to talk about, obviously, once again, we'll keep on reviewing this for quite a while until we get the podcast going and people tend to understand this. It'll be mostly the Jets. We love football. Everybody else loves football. So mostly the Jets. We'll talk some Yankees going on. Any big topics that we talk about, a new trade, a new signing, something kind of interesting, we'll always talk about it. I am a board-certified emergency physician, so if there's any medical questions on players or athletes, anything from heart attacks or anything, I mean, I could do any...
player injury or something.
Player injury or anything like that, you could ask me about it, and I can always give a little education on each topic. That's about it. This is Jarrett.
And this is Eli.
And this is a Sports Jabber with the Lefties.